This is the story of the old and the new, where the changeless ways of uncounted centuries collide with the changing ways of our own. Here, the city of Accra sprawls its growth on the west coast of equatorial Africa, with no buffer between the new and the old. The boy Kumasenu started life in the simple fishing village of his ancestors. He and his cousin Agboh, who had been the leader and hero in 1,000 escapades, would often spend the whole day away from the village, instead of taking their place at the fishing nets. Just as the new grass pushes past the stubble of the old, so Kumasenu and Agboh longed to leave their village and go far off to the big city, where everything was new. This morning, Agboh said, as he had said many times before, life is like the corn on the stalk. When it is new, it is sweet. When it is old, it is hard and fit only for animals. Here, life is old beyond memory, and less changing than the sea. But my Uncle Pharaoh says that what had been good enough for his father was good enough for me. Ah, your uncle. He is long in years, but short in living. For him, there is no road that leads beyond the village. Let us swim. But the sea could not wash away their restlessness. When a westbound lorry passed, they called to the driver, "Take us with you. Take us to the city." But their only answer was a taste of dust. Agboh was angry and swore, and Kumasenu swore with him. Then Agboh said, "I've had enough of this place. From now on, others will taste my dust." Yes, Agboh had decided. He would go to the city. The restlessness of the boys was a matter of concern to the whole village. Kumasenu's aunt, he was an orphan, told her husband that she was going to consult the fetish priest for help. Uncle Pharaoh doubted that this was the answer. But the fetish priest could not drive out the rebellious spirits. And the next day, Agboh, in the coast lorry, took his leave of the village forever. Kumasenu begged for permission to follow Agboh. He was refused. He must stay, and one day be a leader among them. "But uncle," the boy interrupted. "No, Kumasenu." The answer was final. Pharaoh could not understand Kumasenu's longings, but his heart watched and was heavy. A poor catch. Nothing but tiny fish and seaweed. The people spoke low among themselves. Why were the spirits of the sea angry? Kumasenu? My nephew, I have thought again. Perhaps you are right and should go. The men are saying your restlessness is driving off the fish. Surely if your longing is so great that the very fish of the sea answer, it cannot be wrong. Wrong? To know what is beyond? To read and write and find out why iron cars go as swift as the shark? Very well, Kumasenu. The spirits have clearly marked you to go. Come with me. Fiawu has a friend who runs a store outside the city. He will take Kumasenu there to learn ways other than fishing. He can do no more. You are welcome, Mr. Fiawu. Indeed you are, Mr. Zegbanu said. I hope you are well. And Fiawu replied, thank you, Mr. Zegbanu, I am well. And you? And the courtesies went on and on. They asked to know of each other's wives and relations, every single one. And at last, quite naturally, they came to Kumasenu. A bargain was struck, and Kumasenu had his first job in the outside world. Zegbanu was not a bad man to work for, only lazy. For who would work hard as a storekeeper when money was to be made so easily as a receiver of smuggled goods? And here in this little store, Kumasenu first met the 20th century. The lorry driver's swagger told of the big town, and their tongues spoke a language half foreign to Kumasenu, a blend of many languages, a blend of old and new.
For me, I stay for proper woman because I get for money.
My master, he get plenty woman, he get plenty money. The chop which he chop, you know we get him.
Keep quiet there, small boy. Your head like something.
Boy, don't mind him. Hey, my friend, give me music, make I dance.
What make I play?
Give me an order.
It was only Zegbanu, the storekeeper, burying his money. Some months later, Zegbanu went to the next village to attend a funeral for a brother. For the first time, Kumasenu was left alone and in charge of the store. Cousin, welcome. Welcome. Is it you in these fine clothes? Yes, it is I, little one. And I am rich. There is much money to be had in the town if your wits are quick. Bring beer, boy, for I've come far to see you when the dust is in my throat. Bring beer, bring beer. There in the town, there's a new world, and a rich one. Rich? You will see houses 5 rooms high, and lorries and cars, so many you cannot count them. They gleam with silver like herring in the sun. Yes, such a car as I will buy in a little time. For money is easy to find in the city, as easy as that. Come, let's drink to our meeting. Kumasenu, your health. Agboh basked in the impression he was making. He had found many things in the city, but never the blind admiration Kumasenu gave him. Kumasenu listened and was embarrassed with his own poor showing. An apprentice storekeeper without a shilling for pay. As always, Agboh inflamed his longings. 4 bottles later, Kumasenu, wishing desperately in his turn to impress Agboh, said, Agboh, tie my eyes, and I will show you what I can do. I will put my feet to 100 pounds, perhaps 150. Where would a bush boy find 100 pounds? Here, take this cloth, put it over my eyes, and I will show you.
All right, Magwana.
The money burns the sole of my foot, said Kumasenu. Come and look. There, wasn't I right? What tells you that this box holds so much money? For the reason that I see my master put money in it each evening. Now what do you think? For a bush boy, your eyes are sharp. Thank you, cousin. You would do well in this city. Good morning, cousin. I could not sleep for thinking of my fortune and your lack of it. You will never earn enough money to go to the city. Here is 10 pounds. Take it. I'll never be so generous again. Go, taste the sweet life for yourself. But why do you give me this money? Why do we not wait and go together? Talk, talk, talk. You know lazy Zegbanu will never let you go. I'll stay and face him. I am stronger. If you are going at all, you must go at once, bush boy, this very instant. Powerless as always under Agboh's spell, Kumasenu runs in excitedly to pack his few belongings. Agboh had learned much in the big city. Now the tale could be told of a robbery done by a boy who had been trusted too well, and no one to point a finger at Agboh. In his heart, Kumasenu was uneasy. What of the store? Do you think I cannot look after things? Go, I'll find you later in town. Hurry, the lorry will leave without you. So the boy Kumasenu forgot his conscience and rode to the big city to savor the good life of which Agboh had spoken so often. He came to it joyfully, his heart in his hand. Surely the big town would be pleased to see him, would say, "Welcome, welcome, you are welcome." Slowly the spirit of adventure died. Where were the welcoming hands of the city? There seemed no place for him. He was tired and lonely, and night was falling. For the first time, a voice now spoke to him in his own tongue. "I am Agboh," it said. "You are a stranger. Have you no friends or family in the town?" "You are then a child, alone in the dark, shut out by everyone. Alone and hungry, with nowhere to sleep. Come," said Agboh, "and you shall be as my brother." This mat is yours. You can sleep outside my door. Now I must go. But before I go, give me your money. You are so young, and the town is full of thieves. next morning, Arabia took the boy to a big house. She sold goods discreetly and at high profits that the lady of the house obtained through her connections with the wholesalers. By day, Arabia was a successful trader. By night, she enjoyed the protection of a wealthy lawyer, Mr. Mensah. And so Kumasenu came to the big town and found himself in the employ of Arabia, a friend to many men, but faithful to none.
Quite a dancer, aren't you?
Uh-huh. To my lovely.
Agboh was jealous, for he was Mr. Mensah's chauffeur.
Let's meet again tomorrow, huh? Oh, please.
No, I'll be busy.
Where are you going tomorrow?
Mr. Mensah, 8 o'clock.
Why do you keep on seeing him?
Agboh, when you're out with me, please don't bring up Mr. Mensah all the time. If you want to see me again, you must learn to take me as I am. Shall we dance?
Uh-huh.
What's the use of saying, love me all the time? You know it can't be always like this. What's the use of crying? Save yourself your sighs. I can't be true to you, not tonight. But when I kiss, it's you I want, it's you I miss. Oh, hold me tight, darling, kiss me again and make it right. Just listen to my heartbeat and love me all the time. I don't care what you do with me tonight. Yes, tonight. Yes, tonight.
Look, you have no business at all in this place. Too young, much too young to be in this place like this. Don't go away.
Arabia should have known better. It was an error in discretion to borrow both Mr. Mensah's car and his chauffeur.
I'll give you a damn good flogging.
But three's a crowd in any land.
You heard. I said walk, small boy. Walk slowly.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mensa was on his way to Agboh. He had said he'd come tomorrow, but he couldn't keep away from him. His car, no doubt whatever, and outside Agboh's house. Agboh with his chauffeur. The discovery made Mr. Mensa very, very angry. Mr. Mensa was not the man to take it lying down.
Immediate action. I've been attacked. Viciously and cowardly attacked by these people I trusted. Attacked, assaulted, and brutally beaten, and battered and injured. But no one can do that to me, Lord Mensa. Not only that, I've been publicly ridiculed and made a fool of. No one can do that to me, Lord Mensa, I assure you. I have a charge to make, Sergeant, a very serious charge. A charge of conspiracy, assault, and battery with intent to do grievous bodily harm, Sergeant. These criminals...
Kumasenu, tunggu.
And so Kumasenu lost his first friend in the new city. Again, Kumasenu was a stranger, alone among tens of thousands, hunted, without shelter, and hungry.
And everywhere he is in chains. Since no man has a natural authority over his fellow, and force creates no right, we must conclude that conventions form the basis of all legitimate authority, justice, and truth.
Let us take stock of those virtues which endeared him to so many, and which should serve as an example to us all. Yet did any of us ever turn to him in time of need, or hunger, or distress without requital? He turned no man away, however humble, and his eye was the eye of a hawk. He turned no man away, however humble, as he saw no
The case is coming on tomorrow. I think I better get with another doctor. You know that at my close house?
Yes, sir.
Take the boy down there now.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Tamakler. Here was a man more fortunate than Adabir, a man trained to take his place in the complicated life of the city. His wife, Grace, however, finds him very untrained in matters of bookkeeping.
Why can't you ever take this seriously? You have to charge more in future.
They
that's all.
can't pay any more than they do now.
Kofi, don't you think a lot of them who plead poverty as an excuse for not paying are fooling you?
If I turn them away because of their poverty, it would be on my conscience. If they don't pay me when they can afford to, that's on their conscience.
You're hopeless. How often have we been through this before?
On the end of each month since we've been married.
Until next month, then.
Please, master, some policeman want to see.
What? At this time of night?
I'll go. Maybe it's not important.
The doctor's sculpting interrupted his medical work, and his medical work interrupted his sculpting.
We say we are dang. Neda. No ngahi. Non song. Abo frau tipi.
In his own language, the doctor asked the boy the usual questions. His name and native town?
Keta.
Why did he leave?
Lakusu.
His health? Sickness or fever? A juvenile delinquent. He had examined hundreds such just like this boy. And yet, the face held something.
What's the matter with the boy?
If our Amma, at that boy's age, were alone and friendless, and fell among thieves, and a man came by who could help her, what would you expect of that man? You'll be all right. Nobody'll hurt you.
All right, all right. I'll see what I can do.
Come along. There now. Tell the policeman he can wait a little. I'll bring his charge back to him.
And she took Kumasenu and fed him. And while he was eating, she learned his story, and her heart ached for him. The face had aroused the doctor's interest. As a sculptor, he saw in it the youth of his country swiftly emerging from its ancient tranquility into the confusion of the present age. In Kumasenu, he saw a boy on a bridge, uncertainly and unhappily making his way from one world to another, an image the doctor had long sought to fix in ebony. Grace got permission from the police to let them keep Kumasenu for the night, and then returned him, as promised, to the juvenile court in the morning. Kumasenu thought of the powers of a certain charm, upon which his grandmother had always set great store. It was necessary to repeat over and over again, Oyobo Nimi Benwe, Oyobo Nimi Benwe, and whatever your difficulties, they would always be resolved.
Come.
May it please your worship. This juvenile offender is charged under Section 100 with stealing 2 penny worth of bread, the property of Alice Obodo. He appeared to be very hungry at the time. Investigation into the case revealed that Kumasenu has no place of abode in Accra. He has been here only for a few days. He sleeps in the market. When hungry, begs for food. From the circumstances surrounding the offense, it would appear that this juvenile is not a habitual thief. There is no previous conviction against him. Your worship, I therefore do not press the charge.
Recommendation is accepted. Dr. Tamaclo, are you willing to take charge of the boy?
Yes, Your Worship.
The order of this court is that the boy is committed to the care of Dr. Tamaclo as fit person.
And so Kumasenu found new friends to take the place of Arabia.
Not another head of the boy.
Uh-huh. I haven't got it.
Have you thought about his future at all? What are we going to do with him?
That depends on him.
How can it? How can he decide? He knows nothing of the world here. For months now, all he has done is to sit for your carvings. Left to himself, he will be as helpless as one of your statues.
Ah, yes. What will his future be?
Yes, what of the boy's future? Thinking of Kumasenu's growing interest in machinery and his fishing village background, Dr. Tamaclo went to see his old friend, Mr. Quarty, who owns some motorized fishing boats. It was decided if the doctor could arrange for Kumasenu to be trained as a mechanic, Mr. Quarty could then place him as assistant to the engineer of one of his new boats, the Lydia. The doctor thanked him warmly. You will find Kumasenu eager to learn, Mr. Quarty. Good, doctor. Good. One Sunday, the doctor had an urgent call downtown, and Kumasenu went with him, as he often did these days. The doctor now looked upon him as a son. Here, Kumasenu's past caught up with him.
Oh, Kumasenu.
Kumasenu was delighted, but not in the car, he said. Is that the way to greet your old friend, Kumasenu? After all these months? Your doctor won't come out for a while. Take your hands off me. It's taken me a long time to find you, cousin. Things have changed since we last met. Oh, nice car, this. Lighter works, everything works. Stop fidgeting, boy. You were indeed born to be lucky. A fine, fine car, and an uncle who repaid the storekeeper in full for the money you stole when you ran away. You would now be in prison. Oh, you act as if it were news to you, sly one. We'll meet again. Or would you like me to stay and talk of you to your doctor? I thought not. Yes, we'll meet again. Frightened of losing the doctor's love, Kumasenu spoke his first lie when asked about Agboh. A boy from the garage, he answered. Kumasenu, said Agboh. These are my friends. We, my friends and I, want to have a word with you, in private. Come. They took him to the outskirts of the town, to the place where sour cocoa beans and other refuse was burning day and night. Cousin, Agboh said, you are now living a life of luxury. Surely you would not deny me what you owe me. It is a small thing we ask of you. It is that you do not lock the surgery door of the doctor's house tomorrow night. The loss of a few bottles of drugs would mean little to one as rich as the doctor. To us, the gain would be very great. Take his shoes off, boys. You are surely not thinking of refusing me this small service? Or shall we let the hot embers shrivel the skin under your feet, little rat bush boy? And Kumasenu promised and ran. Let him go, said Agboh. I think he understands now that we mean business. That will take him off his high horse. Here, try these shoes. I believe they'll fit you. But when they came the next night, the door was locked.
Hey, Rafi.
Tough gangster films were very popular. Much could be learned from them, and much that they showed could be imitated.
Sophia, what's your back?
In this fashion, Agboh briefed Kumasenu for the second time as to what was required of him. And for the second time, Kumasenu dared not confide in the doctor. That Saturday, Grace took the child to see her grandmother and left the doctor and Kumasenu alone in the house for the night. Yes? What is your address? I'll be there in 5 minutes. Do nothing until then. Fetch Kumasenu. You don't have to fetch me. I am here. Get hold of him. Bush boy, are you thinking to defy me? What would the village elders think of you now? You, whom they held as an example to follow. When the doctor returns, he will think that you are to blame. For after this night, you will disappear. At that moment, Kumasenu became of age. The child became a man. And he knew that somehow he had to strike back. And that the cost of the blow would be worth anything he might suffer. Anything at all.
Police! 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 Hey, police! Police! Police!
Kumasenu! Kumasenu! Come back! Come back!
Kumasenu the hunter had become Kumasenu the hunter. Agboh did not run for long. He knew a running man left a commotion in his wake that was easy to trace. Kumasenu settled down to wait. Through the hours of the night, the memory of Agboh's viciousness struck again and again like a whip. And he now knew Agboh for an enemy of all those who observe the simple laws that allow men to work and enjoy their lives without fear. Agboh was leaving town. Instinct told him to make a break for the open country, where the cloth of his fathers would serve as protection. He expected his description had by now been given to the police. He did not expect Kumasenu. Have you dared to follow me?
Yes.
Kumasenu saw that he had done what he set out to do. Far up the coast, a man in a fishing village heard of the arrest of Agboh and of the part his nephew Kumasenu had played in it. He heard, too, of his nephew's future in the new boat called the Lydian. And he thought over the tales which had reached him and spoke quietly to himself, making of his words a prayer. O Father of the winds and seas, if it be thy wish that these new things should come to pass, then let thy hand fall lightly on the striplings upon whom the dangerous burden of change must fall. Let them find strong hands among their own people to help and guide them. Give them strength and fortitude, for their way into the new world is set about with snares and pitfalls which can cause them great, great suffering if they stray too far from the old ways, if they stray too far, too soon. Thus the past, out of its wisdom, spoke to the future and its longings. Sail bravely into the new, but let the wake of your craft be gentle. Let your past remain upright and proud until we build our ships of the same timber and launch them with our common hopes.